Good morning, Ramon. Good morning, team. How is everyone today? Hopefully, everyone had a good day of financial victories yesterday in the sports betting world.
Well, we know you finished the game over 500, Mindy. Woohoo!
All right, I did it. I came out ahead.
Team Steam didn't lose. I know that.
That's right. We did pretty well yesterday.
Yeah, couldn't lose. Hopefully, we keep the winning going. I think we won on Thursday, though, right?
Yeah, we
So
did pretty well on Thursday,
okay,
actually, with all those NBA picks. Every game that was out there, we were on, and we did well. I think we only lost one.
okay. Well, we don't need to talk too much about Thursday, but I just want to
Oh.
make sure because that was our last day of being on the air. So, welcome to everyone to the Morning Steam. I'm Ramon Scott, along with Mindy Hahn, the Midwest premier sports handicapper. We're going to have a preview of today's action, including the NFL playoffs. It's a big day with two games. We've got to wait a few hours to wait. We got plenty of college basketball, but we've got NBA, college basketball, and hockey to talk about as well. But of course, two NFL games. Mindy, will there be snow in Kansas City? Are they expecting a white field? Maybe just some flurries. It won't affect the field conditions, but I hear that there could be a little bit of weather.
Yeah, I hear that it's currently raining, but
Okay.
snow is predicted, and they do think that it's going to start before game time, expecting like 1 to 2 inches of snow, on the field. But I don't know. Weirder things have happened. And besides, sports betting, it's another profession that you get paid for being wrong.
Yeah, well, uh, we'll see. So I don't know if that affects anything as far as our handicap is concerned or anybody else for that matter. It doesn't sound like it's going to be, blizzard like conditions. It may not affect necessarily too much, especially with that very, very high total. And we haven't seen, too much of a decline in the total at all, really. So take a look at that game. But first, let's say hello to everyone in the chat room. Want to just greet everyone kind of strolling in, see how many we can get before we get started. But let's bring in, and here's Ron. He was first today. TJ was up all night with me. I saw him in the chat, and I was up, Cindy. I was watching tennis again. Andy Murray. Oh, Andy Murray's great to watch, but he's out. Lost in 4 sets, but still thrilling performance. And my only tennis play also was in the middle of the night, so I wanted to watch that between two young star players, including American Ben Shelton. Mindy, I had Ben Shelton at plus 110 as my premium pick this morning, and Ben won in straight sets over Alexei Popyrin. I had commented that I believe Shelton will be one of the biggest rising stars this year, as he's obviously won 3 matches now, reaching the round of 16, and he won that one in straight sets as a plus 110 dog. I, of course, talked about the match the other night with Popyrin beating Fritz. The one thing about Poppy has a little bit of trouble with left-handed players, and I don't know. I mean, my tennis expertise is more numbers maybe than watching aesthetically, even though I've watched a lot of tennis, of course, and in live too. But I had Ben Shelton and watch for Ben Shelton. He's going to be up in the next round against J.J. Wolf, and 2 Americans are going to go at it with a chance to reach the round of 8. So hello to everyone rolling in. Curtis is here as well. Jeffrey Linton is here. Latifa is here as well. So let's see who else we've got. If just regulars, it looks like so far. Latifa's all fired up because the NHL card is massive today. Unlike, maybe it was good we weren't on yesterday with those 2 measly games.
Right.
So she's fired up. And Yeah, we're waiting on Batman. I hope he's not sleeping in. Maybe I will say, in Batman. Okay, I'll comment on Batman while he's not here. How about that? But I like his video where he said, he's rapping and he says, "I'm the best rapper capper alive," and then the music stops and he whispers, "I'm the only rapper capper alive." Good one, rapper capper. That was actually quite funny. Give him all the credit to that one. That was very funny. I love that actually. The way he said, "I wish I could." I'm the best rapper capper alive. I'm the only rapper capper alive, and he like gives it that shrug, like I'm the only rapper capper alive. So, all right, Ron's here as well. We're hoping to have a big fuzzy Kong balls. Mindy, I couldn't get Tony to say the
I
word
know, we're trying.
fuzzy Kong balls on the air. Did he? I don't think he
Nope,
did.
he won't do it, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Um, maybe he will next time. We kind of teased him a little bit. So, all right. Yeah, Rocco, nice job. Yeah, look, Poppy was awesome, man. I mean, I loved his performance in front of the home crowd, but you got to admit, Ben Shelton looks like he's going to be. And Fuzzy Kong Ball should know he looks like a tennis expert. I mean, he is Fuzzy Kong Balls at all. So,
Unless he
Terrell
just has
Riley.
love of dogs. Could be that, right? Maybe.
Yeah, in fact, I didn't even get the best price when I put it in. Put it in way early, so we'll see if I have anything. Everything's coming in late for me, Mindy, because of watching tennis, prepping for the show. I was in a poker tournament all night, so that's just the way it is. And I got in a little bit of hot water, so I had to do some work on Twitter, apologizing to some people. I made a criticism last night, got into a little bit of hot water. I criticized one of the top basketball recruits in the nation, and his coach actually hit me up in my DMs and said I was out of line. The kid is 18 years old, and he's kind of a showboat now. He's headed for the University of Memphis. If people may know who I'm talking about, I'm not going to mention his name. Even though he's 18, he's one of the top recruits in the nation. He bodied some guy. He's an incredible talent. He bodied some poor soul last night on a dunk, did the walkover on him, stepped on his arm at the end of the game, was kissing to the crowd, giving him the bye-bye and everything. And I was a little bit critical of him and his behavior. And I've seen this from him now of late. And well, he's headed to the University of Memphis. I guess, you look at John Morant, hey, that's where you go. It was a hostile crowd, a hostile environment. They were chanting overrated. And, by all indications, the way he's fallen from the number one recruit in the nation to, maybe about number 35 or so now, not because maybe of his talent, maybe because he's gone back home. He started his career in San Diego, went away to school for 2 years, came back to San Diego this year, and maybe that's why his numbers have fallen. Or maybe the experts see that he's not what it was all cracked up to be. In fact, I chronicled his first game as a prep when no one else did, even though a lot of people knew coming into high school he was going to be an excellent player. And by all indications and reports, he probably makes more money than I do right now. But coach was very critical of my comments. The coach had actually tweeted out, this happened, like it was some big thing that we should be celebrating. And I didn't feel like that was necessarily the case. I didn't think that it was a play worth celebrating. And I made a comment that, and again, I know this player is 18 years old. So I felt it was fair game to be critical of this player. But the coach took exception to that and, basically said I was making a personal attack on him. And, well, I don't think I was. I think I was just critical of his on court behavior. In turn, the coach did say that maybe I was the one with character issues since I'm involved in the gambling industry. So that's all fair.
Fighting words.
No, not at all. In fact, this coach I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Even though I've drawn his ire and it will never be the same between us, I will publicly state that I tremendously admire this coach and his character very, very much. If this is what he's training his players to do as far as sportsmanship, they'll have plenty of opportunities to do that because they won this game by double digits on the road, even though the crowd was chanting overrated and was really yelling at him. And being hostile, and I get it. But I think, when you're a top recruit in the country, maybe you could just be above that a little bit. In fact, wouldn't it be awesome if you dunked on a guy and you land, no, it was called a block. He lands really on top, looks at the guy, steps right over, steps on his right arm. It'd be way more insulting if you helped the guy up, almost, wouldn't it? It almost
Right.
look like that. So I don't want anybody, if they come in here, getting on my kid, nobody rush to my defense because I maybe was the one that was out of line. So I don't know, just something that came about last night. That, definitely had some interactions on the old Twitter sphere, if you will. And that's just how it went. But I don't know, Mindy, no big deal unless anybody, maybe I can just bring up the dunk. What do you guys think? Would that be too much if I did that, Mindy, and maybe
No, let's check it out.
brought up the dunk? Does anybody want to see the dunk that I'm talking about and see what you think? All right. Anybody? I don't know. You did, so let's do it. Let's do it. All right. I want to do it now. I just
That's the
thought
thing,
of
though,
that.
is like, folks who understand, Ramon's covered, as a sports writer for a long, long time now, too.
Well,
And again, like
yeah.
this player has to get used to that sort of criticism, especially if he is going to continue to be that type of player. So, and again, I think you reached out. Basically, you said because he was an adult, and that's how it, went
Yeah.
down.
And again,
And again, it
he's still
wasn't that. Again, this wasn't a tit for tat, character assassinations, and it feels like to me you kind of got that back. So let's see.
Yeah, and I'm very, very sorry that I said what I said. But anybody who sees this player, you might recognize him right away. I'm not going to say his name. If you guys want to say his name, I will put it up on screen, maybe. And like I said, he's from San Diego. He went to an academy for 2 years and then returned to San Diego to be on there. But let's just take a look at this. Nobody said anything yet. Joe Jiggy's ready. Kong Balls is ready. Here it comes. And if you're a huge basketball fan, I would think that you might recognize who this player is once he pulls off this jam. So let's take a look.
All right. Oh, well, we didn't quite see it. Do it again.
Do it again?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
One more time. Okay, one more time. Yeah, we'll pixelate a little bit. Okay, definitely steps on his arm too, right? So let's take.
Yeah, so you're not seeing it until the end. It's a there's the step. Can you do it? Send it back a little bit further so we can see the dunk. Are you able to send it back?
Does it not start up right away?
It doesn't start until he steps on the guy.
Oh, it doesn't start up right away. Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess there's just a little bit of laggy, and it might be impossible for me. Let me. I'll.
We saw more of the dunk that
time. Okay. Well, I'm not sure that I can bring it up. I'm not sure I can do it. Then to get all of it, just
we
because
get the gist of it. You could definitely see him.
Memory in my computer, or
yeah, because that last time you could see when he was coming down from the dunk, and then of course you could definitely see him, step on the guy's arm, pull the Christian Leitner.
Yeah. Maybe, and there was more. At the end of the game, he goes, flexing a little bit of his muscle there at the end of the game and all that. So, all right. And again, maybe I was in the wrong. So, but it was a pretty good sick dunk. It's great. This guy's a great player, no doubt about it. But yeah, come on. So, all right. Enough of my whining. I'm sure Tony's not going to appreciate that too much, that I got into trouble a little bit. But again, I made my apologies, and it's not even part of our life a little bit, other than the fact that the coach was critical of what I'm doing as far as my work in the gambling industry, where of course, where it's all legal anyways in most of the states except for California, where they go 18%. Don't want any part of gambling in California anymore. They don't want sports gambling there. They don't like it at all. They had a vote there, and it got like 18% on one of the proposals and 23% on the other. I mean, how are they going to get this approved in just 1 or 2 more years? It seems extremely unlikely. So, okay, well,
Blows my mind.
he's going to the University of Memphis next year, and Ron Hansen. We saw Shannon Sharp get into it with John Morant, with other Memphis players yesterday. Ja's dad. Actually, there was a video of Shannon Sharp and Ja's dad after the game, hugging each other, hugging it out a little bit. No big deal. But again, Memphis Grizzlies, easily the most unlikable team in the league right now. Even no disrespect to our friend in Tennessee, but I don't know. I think a lot of people would agree with that right now. But it's hard not to root for them a lot of times with as well as they're playing and as much as money as we've made on them. So Trail says Laker game was crazy as the Laker game against Memphis.
So does Clark, does he wear like Nike Monarchs? Does he wear the dad shoes?
I'm not sure.
They're just all white with a little blue swoosh.
Let's get started let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com. That's what we need to do, and take a look at the leaderboard real quick, Mindy, before we, because I'm, on my soapbox a little bit there.
It's okay.
I'm not feeling sorry for myself, actually, to get such criticism, but
yeah, when you feel
there are a lot of people that say, hey, you know what? They were worthy of it because of, it was such a hostile environment. Well, wait till you get to the University of Memphis and you end up taking on some of those teams.
I also, one more thing, like just random comment, because I was talking about shoes. I've always loved the Air Jordans, right? But I think it's funny, like, I just think like if I was playing professional basketball and I played for the Memphis Grizzlies, I wouldn't be wearing a pair of Kyrie Irving's fly traps. That's all I gotta say. Isn't that weird to me? Like that you would be like, wearing LeBrons out on the court. I just wouldn't be doing that. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
Sounds like you're a real sneakerhead.
I am a sneakerhead for sure. I know all my Jordans. I'm a big fan.
All right, look at Pravi. He had another big day. He's back. And Pravi comes in with a big day, 12-3 yesterday on the light card for plus 892 units. Tiffany Mann, 6-2, Mindy, 355. Hollywood Sam, 2-0, perfect. And Mindy also up there with a profitable day. Let's take a look for the week. Mindy still on top for the last 7 days, 848 units. The Morning Steam team plus 841 units over the last week. Tiffany, Pravi, and Nick all showing profit for the month. Pravi builds on his number there, plus 31. Mindy, you're up 2181 combined with our record on Morning Steam. That would put us up together 3,963 unit, 3963. So pretty strong. Tiffany having a good month as well. And so far for the year, Tiffany's up 2,800 units, and we're up here on the show 2,400 units. So we better get started. Don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all of our premium pick packages. Mindy is on top of the algorithmic leaderboard, and she has plays today. So we can just scroll them a little bit, Mindy. And you got your best bet in the Jaguars Chiefs. You got a best bet. That one's your $15. You got
That's right.
Giants Eagles there for 25 today, and you'll have more, I'm sure. Best for me is to get involved with my 3-day, because everything's going to be coming in late on this big card, I'm afraid, today.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just the way it unfolded for me in my life. So, Let's get started on the show. Everybody's ready to go. We got over 3 dozen people in here, so thank you very much. Looks like Terrell, Ron, they're all sneakerheads too.
Heck yeah. I know. I used to collect like for my nieces and nephews the little baby shoes. So they were always styling for sure.
Let's roll in the
Space
NFL and start
Jams.
with Mindy's.
The
Mindy's
Chiefs.
Chiefs here against the Jaguars. Who would have thought? We've been here before. Hey, remember when the Jaguars, they've had big playoff wins in the team's history, just not in recent enough history. People might not even remember some of the victories that they've had in Jacksonville when Mark Brunell was there with the team, for example. So let's get into it right now, Mindy, for today. And of course, this game is at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central, 1:30 Pacific, with the Chiefs favored down to 9 now, 52.5, maybe a tick down because the weather is certainly being talked about.
Yeah, perhaps. It's one of those things like I'm not so sure the weather is going to impact, this Jaguars team. I think the line still, we've talked about this all year. You could probably already can tell what my pick's going to be. It's not going to be the Chiefs are going to win this game, but they're not going to win this by the points. I think they're going to win it by probably, somewhere between 4 and 7. Again, if they were going to play the Chargers, what would the spread be here, Ramon? Probably 4 or 5, right? And I don't think there's any real difference between where the Jaguars were and maybe where the Chargers were in this one. So for me, I think there's always like that little Mahomes, tax that he's going to get that you're, looking at a double-digit spread here in this one. So my play, I'm gonna take the Jaguars here on the road, +9.
Okay, I'll take them with you, Mindy. We couldn't get 9.5 now. We can only get 9. And we'll take the Jaguars here, I would think, against the Chiefs. The Chiefs find ways to just let their opponents hang around, stay in the game right now, and maybe that'll happen again. Hello to Carl as well. In this one, Matt says it's a time they run out of gas here in this one. So, yeah, Mindy, I think we can get on these Jaguars one more time. Certainly, of concern because of the fact, Mindy, that um, you know, early on in the game, in the Charger game, the terrible first half that they had and the sheer disaster. Maybe it'll happen again, but maybe they also can tighten it up a little bit and keep it close enough early on that they can stay in this game. And I want to
Well,
take them.
yeah, also too that they're talking about breaking the decibel record again, right? Because you had, Lawrence where he came out and said that it's louder at the Jaguar Stadium. So, that kind of gives these Chiefs fans, a little bit more incentive here. I think they're going to toughen up a little bit, the Chiefs. But again, I still think it's just too many points when you're playing in the playoffs. That's a lot.
It is funny, right? You think about some of the games during the regular season, right? And is it just because the playoffs these spreads are getting a little bit higher? It doesn't seem to make sense, right? Even with
Right.
Jacksonville being just 9-8, yeah, maybe that's where the disparity is because Kansas City has that awesome record, but also, think about how Kansas City ended up with a lot of those game, going like, oh, here's Jeffrey Linton with a nice comment, though. Um, you know,
Sure.
I get it. It
Noise
may
plays
be
well.
maybe 30, maybe it'll be
Off a
35
bye week.
at halftime. Just maybe it'll be a disaster. Maybe um, I don't know. Do you think Kansas City's defense is that much better than Los Angeles Chargers defense?
No, not at all.
Right?
No, I don't at all. It's just one of those that for, whatever reason, the Chargers have always played, the Chiefs tough. And again, I think the spread should be 4 or 5. I don't think it should be, 9 because I think it should be what it would be if the Chiefs were playing the Chargers. And I think that's right where it would be. And I think that's reasonable.
maybe because the regular season teams are not as motivated. I don't know. It doesn't seem to make that much sense that maybe there'd be an inflation in the number because it's the playoffs where there's only 8 teams left, and the Jaguars just happen to be one of them. So wow, Carl, Carl says I think that's in the alternate universe there with that -7 first half. TJ says first quarter money line and under 53. It sounds like a same game parlay. So earlier, Dave was commenting that I was a little tough on the Grizzlies, but what I mean by they're unlike, is that really they, you know, are kind of a rub it in your face type of team right now. They just don't show. They're great. They're awesome, man. I mean, the Grizzlies are good. Hopefully, they might be. Talk about these teams in the West. I mean, they're great. Okay. All right, Mindy. They're asking about the total, but I don't know, Mindy, maybe like me. I mean, I've got a premium on the total, so
Yes.
um, we're on Jacksonville here on the free pick. We're just going to have to leave it at that here, but maybe maybe Mindy did hint a little bit where she's going with it. Matt D may be interested in some props in the game. So, all right. All right. Great game. Great game. All right. Hey, nice to see Jay Parlay
I'm
in
just saying,
here
I
with
personally wouldn't do it unless I had, I mean, I'd find someone else's shoe to wear. I'd find some generic, not basketball name brand, not generic. I mean, like you know, a Zoom, something.
Giants and the Eagles here. Eagles are favored by 7.5 now. The total's down to 47.5. And well, interesting move, certainly. Division rivals, so they're meeting for the third time this season in this one, Mindy, with the Giants and the Eagles.
Well, geez, I'm on another underdog here today. I'm going to be taking this Giants team. I like the Eagles, but I kind of still feel they've always kind of been a little bit one dimensional. They have a great quarterback and a great wide receiver. Other than that, they haven't really stood out to me. Especially, or maybe it could be because Hurts was out here, a little bit as well. But the Giants, to me, seem like they got a little bit of something to prove. I like it. I liked how they looked, right? Giants scored 31 in the wild card game last week. They only lost the Eagles by 6, especially when, they rested some of their starters there in that game, right? I mean, I don't know how the shoulder injury is going to be either. Giants 5-0 against spread the last 5 overall. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants here in this one.
Well, it looks like we'll just take 2 underdogs here again today. I mean, I really feel like this is I know we're talking about number 1 seeds now today in these games, but for me, it's a playoff game. I really think that these spreads should be a little bit closer.
Yes.
I mean, how many games in the regular season where we're talking about games that even look like mismatches in a way, right? And might even have double-digit spreads, yet when we come down to it, we're always fighting against the spread on the last series of the game. I mean, sweating these games out when it comes to the point spread. That will they get inside a touchdown or not, type of thing. And well, while the same thing could happen here, you'd think that these games would be a little bit more closely rated. I mean, these are, like I said, playoff teams, and yeah, we know that the number 1 seeds have those buys, but I'm going to be on the Giants here with Mindy. I'm willing to take these dogs and take my chances with these underdogs today in the playoffs. And just seems like the spreads are too high. Spreads too high. The rent's too much.
Right.
Yeah, I feel about it. So we're going to be on these dogs today. Mindy. So TJ, maybe he might even think about the money line. Jeffrey says overrated. So Matt's ready to head to the neutral field. We're not going to lay the points with the Chiefs. So
Sure.
Anyone, she's gonna have to sweat it, but if she doesn't, I'm not saying she does
Like
it.
I said, it was one of those like the Jaguars scared me more than playing someone like the Ravens or the Dolphins for sure. So I think it's going to be contested. I don't think it's going to be a huge blowout. I mean, I always root for a blowout, but that's not been the Chiefs' style. It's been they're going to win by a touchdown and get done what they need to get done.
Then Carl asked about the total, but again, I've got a premium there, and now
Right?
we've got premiums also here with Team Steam. It looks like, although it's NFL playoffs, so I don't think we're going to really, other than you and I being able to find our consensus and hopefully keep our winning ways going. We're not going to fret about anybody going the other way in the chat. This is an
Right.
NFL playoff game. Quite likely, you would think that the Jaguars Chiefs game is going to end right around 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points. This game is probably going to end up right around 7, 7.5, 8 points. Supposedly, right, because it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. We know that, but we're going to put our team Steam, if you will. We're going to do it for us. Sorry, you guys, but we're going to take the 16.5 points in these two games and go with the underdog. Yep. And TJ mentioned, again, that's another thing, right, Mindy, in the Kansas City, they could be up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, which really, hey, I want to say hello, Mindy, say hello to Waki Okinda. I don't know if we've had the pleasure.
Right. I don't think
but,
so.
Chiefs, Eagles, teaser. Of course, you are teasing right through into those good numbers. This is going to be, the most popular teaser of the playoffs, I would think, so far. So, no problem if you want to lay the favorite on the teaser there. Dave also on the Giants. But again, what I was saying, Mindy, is 14-point lead and some prevent defense, if you will. You know what that means. They'll just back off, and Lawrence can just
See what
cruise down
happens.
the field a little bit, pick up that touchdown. Maybe even they have to go to an onside kick or something, but all of a sudden, you get within that number when, hey, a 2 touchdown lead with 3 minutes feels pretty good, right? You lay off a little bit. We've seen it a million times, and that also has to be considered, and in the other game as well. So, especially the way Danny Dimes has been playing. So, I think Carl likes the team total here over for the Giants. So, hey, you guys can comment on the total if you want and get it in there. So, TJ Harvey talking about those
Yeah,
teams
that looks good to me.
today. So. Okay, NFL playoffs going to be great, and can't wait for it to get here. We got plenty of college basketball to keep us occupied.
Got a little bit to watch in the meantime, right?
Yeah, good college basketball day. But first, we're going to the NFL, of course, and get started with these games, Mindy. On the NBA card, and this one's a matinee. If you're early afternoon game, late afternoon,
4 p.m.ish my time.
Yeah, 5 Eastern, 4 Central, 2 Pacific, with the Celtics and the Raptors here. And right now in this one, I'm showing the Celtics are favored. In this one on the road by 1, and we already saw. By the way, Mindy, so for our I'm sorry we didn't put it up there. We'll put up the link to the Discord here. I've got to learn how to pin it. I know Tony's trying to tell me how to do it, and I haven't figured it out yet. But I don't have it up yet. But so in the Discord, we started a Discord. What do we got? About 30, almost 30 now in just 3 days over there. So if you haven't heard, we did a Discord, and I'm going to put the link up there. It's not going to be the fancy link, but maybe you can copy and paste. We've already heard some people do it here. Mindy, they're talking about shoes in there already.
Yeah.
But So I'll put it up there right now. And over in the Discord, we've been and I post all the steam, but just want everyone to know that the steam that I'm posting is not necessarily a selection by me. It's just
Correct.
information.
Information.
So I know someone had mentioned they're like, oh, I don't know if there's a good pick or good whatever, but it's really just information. I'm not endorsing it. You see, for example, Mindy came in and said she liked one, but it's just information that we're passing down to. So, all right. Oh, we've got a few more picks in there. That's okay. So here comes Joe Jiggy. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mindy. So, but anyways, what I was commenting on was the fact that I think we did post in there that this game did get steamed to the under, and right now it's all the way down to 225.5.
Yeah, there was a lot of movement this morning. I saw. It was pretty crazy. But the Celtics here, they've covered the spread the last 6 here now versus the Raptors. Still ranked second in scoring here. Celtics 4-1 against spread the last 5. I'll take the Celtics here on the road.
All right, Mindy wants to go with the Celtics here on the road today against the Raptors and at -1. Well, man, kind of want to agree with you there, but man, there's a little bit of reverse line movement here too that kind of wants me to take the Raptors, but I don't know. I think I've got to favor the Celts here on the road. Maybe it's tough right now. Toronto, like keep saying they're showing life, but are they really at this point?
Every once in a while they do, right?
Yeah, but right now you do have the Celtics, man, they're on a roll right now, aren't they? I mean, I know they didn't cover that game against Golden State, but what a game it was. They had covered everything kind of before that, certainly. And the Raptors have lost and failed their last 2 straight games. Boy, I'll agree with you, Mindy. I'll lay the 1 point with the Celtics on the road. I don't know if they'll have a hangover off of that Warriors game, but yep, Fuzzy Kong Balls talking about the injury report. That's definitely the case there with Tatum. He is out of this game, him and his 31 points. So, yeah, boy, that does have me concerned as well. Dave says, is Tatum, yep, no doubt about it. No Tatum, you guys. I understand that.
Right.
Boy. All right, Mindy. I'm willing.
Consensus play, Ramo.
All right.
Everyone's saying, don't overthink it, Ramo.
Well, I don't know. I think that I don't know. I think there are some in there that are kind of hinting at the fact because, and again, I'm worried about that. A little bit of reverse line movement in there. It really does favor Toronto. This one feels like it's against my better judgment. And I've been solid in the NBA. We've been solid in the NBA. So this is supposed to be our zone right now, as far as you and me together and individually, really doing well. So, all right. Next up is going to be the Magic and the Wizards. Oh, this should be a really anything can happen in this game. Could be some wizardry going on with the Magic and the Wizards. So anyway, the Wizards now are up to 7 and 229.5.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like here I just need to take the Magic and the points. They are 3-1 against the Wizards here on the road over the last 3 seasons here. Magic scoring 111 per game, Wizards 112. So really close over the last 3 where they're headed. Magic 7-1 against the spread the last 8 road games versus a team with a winning record here as well. I'll take the Magic and this +7 now.
Yeah, +7. I mean, I want to be on the Magic here. I mean, I would think this is a good spot for a team getting some points with the Magic. And we're just going to agree on every game again today. That's what we'll do. It seems like it worked. It seems like it's working for us.
Work sometimes, right? Yeah, right.
So Joe Jiggy's on the Magic. Hey, Neil Boyce is here today. I saw Verley also in here talking about the Celtics game. So.
Yeah, Blake's coming in hot today. Over under 12. But there is a lot of games. We're covering like 30, minimum 30.
Yeah, you look at these two teams, Verley. I mean, they have opposite spread records. Orlando's 25-19 to the number, and Washington's 19-25 to the number. And Washington's also 8-13 against the spread at home. Washington's 5-9 against the spread as a favorite. Orlando 24-14 against the spread as an underdog. I'm going to take the Orlando Magic here.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's we're up to 4 already, Ramon.
Oh my
up to
gosh.
4.
Okay, Bucks and the Cavs. I saw everyone talking in the Discord. What's going on with the Cavs? Of course, they had a late scratch as well. I lost a premium actually with the Cavs. I was on it early. Anybody can look. I've got a loss right there in the. You can check all our records. They're fully documented. I got the Cavs at -8. I was in on them early. And that was, I felt like it was going to be, a rest day for those guys. And again, I usually know when that's happening, and didn't work out. I took both. I was on good numbers on both those injury games, Mindy, including laying the best price with the what was that other? There was another game where the spread had moved. The Pacers, right, without Jokic. I took the Pacers, and then that went again. The line went in my favor, and it didn't work out. So, how will it work out today, though, for the Bucks going in and taking on the Cavs again?
Well, I think I like the Bucks here. I'm going to take the plus points here. They've won 2 straight now, putting up quite a few points. 131 over those last 2 games. Cavs lost 2 in a row now, like we said, only putting up 114 a game. Bucks 3-0 against the spread in their last 4, playing on 3 days rest here as well. So I'm going to take the Bucks.
Okay, Mindy's going to be on the Bucks. Could it be the Cavs? We're in a look-ahead spot to this game because it is a pretty significant game between these two teams, and I don't know. It's kind of funny. The Warriors maybe. I know they're improved, but again, they had, the world out, right? And all those players came through again in that situation. So, anyways, I'll probably go under in this one, Mindy. You see where the total is right now at 221. It's 221 now. Oh boy, I'll just leave 220 up there to kind of give myself a tough game because I have this one in the low. I have this one closer to the high 2 teens, if you will, if I can call it that. So I like the under here in this one. You got Milwaukee, don't forget. They are 6-16 to the under on the road this season. And Cleveland, they kind of flatline a little bit when it comes to the total, but we know that, they're kind of a defensive-oriented team, especially now that everybody's back in there with Allen and Mobley. So I know they went over in their last 2, including that game last night, went for 234, but I think this is a little different situation. Milwaukee plays so solid to the under. I'm going to go under in this one at 221. Joe says, don't forget about the Bucks and their key injury situation coming into this one. Middleton's still out, but Giannis questionable. I think if you look at the spread, however, I think it indicates that he might be in. Mitchell, the fact that he was out of yesterday's game, questionable today, I think you might be in as well. We'll see. This is a tough one for you and I to, maybe comment on, Mindy, because of those 2 key injuries. But we're here. We got to make a pick.
Right.
So Ron says he feels like Giannis will play. Neil says it's built into the line. And if it is, right, I would think that both, if you're looking at that line, to me, both kind of weird, right? Either both are in or both are out. Maybe with that line the way it is, but Verley likes the under here as well. Ron says give him the Bucks, and we've got NBA referee Scott Foster joining us.
All right, hooray!
Scotty Foster, hey, good to have you here.
I thought it was Scott Frost when I first saw it come across.
I see there's one new, I don't want to say new Twitter, their handicappers are a dime a dozen, but, there's like some famous ones out there. Oh, you're the two old ladies who bet and stuff, but I mean, you've seen, there's old man who bets and some of the famous Twitter cappers, but there's kind of a new guy out there, Ref who bets. I thought that was pretty good.
That is a good name, right?
Yeah. Neil says odds makers are the best cappers. Hey, no doubt about. I mean,
I know they got all the info,
right? We always say, "Oh, I agree with that, Neil." But you know what? The most overrated thing said in gambling, Mindy, is when they say, "Oh, how did Vegas know?" when it comes right on the spread. But really, don't we mean how did the public know, right? Because they're just trying to gauge the 50-50 action and try to get it right get it right. So I always think when it lands near the spread, the public knew what the line should be. So, all right. Next up, the Hornets and the Hawks here. The Hawks 7.5, 234.5.
Well, these Hornets are 18-8 against the spread versus the Hawks. Hawks are ranked 9th in scoring here. Hornets ranked 23rd. Hornets 4-1 in the last 5 in Atlanta. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Hornets here. Looks like I already lost a couple points from early on. It was -9. Now it's -7.5. So only getting +7.5 right now.
Okay, Mindy will be on the Hornets today against the Hawks here. This one kind of looks a little bit close to me. I might favor them with you here, plus the points. They always fade, though, man. God.
We talk about it all the time, right? We don't have Scotch in here right now, but he would tell us that, the Hornets tend to fall asleep in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they do. So Joe Jiggy says leaning Hornets here. Reese says over in this one. Mindy, going to have to disagree with you because unfortunately, look at the pick here by Reese. I'm going to go with the Hawks in this one. So, we got a challenge here, but I'm more focused on the total here, I think, in this one. And Numbers Gang says taking Hornets plus the points, giving too many points today. He's taking all the points. He wants all the dogs. He wants all the smoke.
Right.
Here in this one. So I'm on the Hawks -7.5. Mindy's on the Hornets.
Mark's probably at bar crawl again. Maybe that's the new thing, like every Saturday. Bar crawl. Pub crawl.
It's been a while since I've done that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
All right, next up will be the Rockets and the Timberwolves here. The Timberwolves. Well, we know who Numbers Gang. We know who Numbers Gang is on, right? He's taking them all, but the Timberwolves now are -8, and the total's up to 237.
I'm gonna be with Numbers Gang. I'm gonna take those Rockets and the plus points here. Timberwolves have now had their last 3 games decided by 4 points or less here. They're averaging 115. Rockets 110. Rockets, they're really kind of crushing the boards here for me as late. I like this one. I'm going to take the Rockets.
Okay, Mindy's going to be on the Rockets here with taking the points. Obviously, they've been pretty bad of late. Not getting many numbers, so I'm not going with you guys on that.
I get it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it. But I tell you what, I will be doing. I'll be going on the over in this one. I mean, I've already, I pretty much missed the boat on this one. I mean, I don't know if I even like it anymore, but it feels like I want to go on the over. That's the way I was looking.
It started at 233, now at 237.
Don't say it, man. You got 233, and I have to put 4 more points onto this thing, but I can't take Houston. I'm not going to necessarily go against you here. I'm kind of leaving myself open a little bit with the Wolves. Joe Jiggy says they can't give up points like that. So I'm going to go with the over, this big number here. I think that's actually the way it goes with these teams today. And, I'm not. That's where I had a lot of even though I'm showing good numbers in the NBA and Tony talked about on the show. I mean, I think if you go through a lot of my losses, I end up laying a few too many points on some of these totals, and I've kind of ended up giving them out here on the show. And the funny thing is, they're starting to come in a little bit on these, but I do wish I'm like Neil. But we always say that, right? Oh, I like it better at this price, but we always get Mindy says.
Me too. Yeah, 233 all day over. But I'm like, I never saw that when I went to go put my my wager in. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Darn it.
So it's a free play. It's free play. I mean, even at 237, so many better chance. I feel like it goes over than stays under. So
yeah, for sure.
And boys, Wolves money line in the over here as well. So maybe he buys it down a little
Sounds
bit.
like it, huh? Yeah, 225. Sweet. Oh, that must be like a little teaser or something, 7-pointer.
Well, I mean, you can. I don't know. I mean,
alternative spreads.
books where you can buy points. All the buy as many as you need. And look, like I said, I mean, you only get one chance to win a game. I know.
Yeah, so you could do a big money line parlay today on these, big spreads. Put them all up to you getting what, plus 20 or something. Play minus 1,000.
Yeah, you have some big favorites here. We talked about them, and this is going to be one of them. But I'm showing Phoenix is down to 5.5 here. They were a little bit higher, certainly, and the total was higher as well. So what do you have here? Pacers and Suns.
Well, geez, I really liked, the Pacers, like you said yesterday. I mean, I didn't, play it, but that would have been the way that I definitely would have went on that game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, definitely. And, scoring here is, they're ranked 11th. Suns are ranked 17th. For me, a lot of this comes down to probably the 3-point game here today. The Pacers have been outpacing the Suns in that area. Pacers 12-3 against the spread in the last 15 here. Pacers 6-1 against the spread the last 7 in Phoenix. I'm taking the Pacers plus 4 points. Goodness, look at me go.
Mindy's on the pace here. They're on the back-to-back, obviously. So that, I don't know, for a young team with missing a star player, look, great job yesterday by the Nuggets. Pacers, maybe still some vulnerability, but the Suns, we know they haven't been playing that well of late, right? So maybe they can get there. But I'm going to end up going on the under in this game, especially now that I've missed out again here on probably a couple of points. Not as many as that last game, but I'm willing to go on the under here with the Pacers and the Suns, with the Pacers coming off the back-to-back. You look at these two teams when it comes to the total, Mindy, you do have really two teams that kind of trend towards the under. Phoenix 9-13 to the under at home. Indiana 10-13 to the under on the road. Phoenix also 10-16 to the under as a favorite. I'm going to be on the under in this one. Mindy is going to be on the Pacers. And let's see. Did Scotch made it, huh? Oh, he's there.
Yeah.
He's at work. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuzzy Kong Balls says Suns should smash tonight. Remember, Tony, if you're watching, if you don't want to say Fuzzy Kong Balls, you can say dog toys. And I think you pointed that out, Mindy.
That's what they are. Kongs are dog toys, yes.
Okay. And tennis balls are something dogs like. So this is a
the thing is these are supposed to be kind of indestructible. So your dogs can chew on them for a long time without them being demolished right away like most.
Okay. So Fuzzy might actually have us giving him free promotional, but we don't mind because I just like saying that. So Angel Reyes is here today. He's on the Pacers in this one. It says letdown spot for the Suns. So they all look like letdown spots for the Suns at this point. Got to get it together. I mean, maybe they'll be better when Booker comes back. Again, maybe,
I don't know why I thought that was so
they
funny.
did show man, where did I see it? They were showing the Suns' new. I don't even think it's officially sold yet, right? So I don't know. Okay, thanks, MT. All right, one more game here. By the way, Mindy's on the Pacers. I'm on the under in that one. All right. 76ers and Kings. Good game. Good game, right? Sixers are -2, and the total is up to 235. And again, hang out in the Discord, and I was giving out all that steam. Um, Maybe too big a show to give out all that stuff coming across right now, but what about this one?
Yeah, so the Kings covered last night, depending on when you got the spread, I suppose, right?
Okay.
So I don't know. I think it's going to be a good one here again today. I'm going to take the Kings at home. They are 5-0-1 against the spread in their last 6 here overall, won 6 in a row now, putting up, a ton of points, 130 per game here. 76ers are 5-1 in their last 6 here as well. So they're playing on, pretty good, but only putting up 120 a game. I think Kings are just going to be able to outlast them tonight. More scoring. I'll take the Kings at home.
Yeah, I was able to. I laid 4 privately and got it there, but pretty sure it closed 5. So there were some pushes.
5.5.
Really,
Yeah.
even some 5.5. That's okay, interesting because you think about how successful the Thunder has been
Right.
against the spread. So, but for me, look, I know the Kings are crummy as an underdog, no doubt about it, but they're terrific at home. So, kind of fighting this one a little bit, Mindy, with these two teams. But right now, I don't say crummy as an underdog. I'm just crummy at home, not crummy at home. Mediocre, right? 12-11 against the spread at home. Both these teams pretty ultra successful at getting numbers, almost the same record spread wise. Philly 26-19, Kings 25-18. ATS Kings just playing a little bit better of late. They're 12-8 as an underdog, so that's not terrible at all, actually. But Philly's a good favorite. We know Philly are red hot right now, right? With their 4 wins in a row, a pair of covers. But the Kings are super hot too. I kind of worry about some, people kind of been saying, Kings imposters a little bit. When are we going to get
imposters, huh?
Well, that's what I don't know. Maybe I'm just watching the wrong Twitters or something. um,
Huh.
I don't know. So here's Butterscotch on the Kings. Blake Kings and over. Angel Kings, he says. Wait, where's Angel's pick?
Yeah, Kings.
There it is. Angels on the Kings, right. Looks like a unanimous almost here with the Kings. I'll go with the Kings with you guys for sure. We need 3 plays. Let's go with the Kings tonight against the Sixers. Yeah, look, Sixers on this road trip, right? This is the 5th game right now of this road trip. So they're definitely going against, I don't know, the best team they've faced on these. Are the Clippers better than the Kings at this point? I don't know if they are. And the Angel says, revenge spot. They played back on December 13th. Sixers won and covered easy, 123-103. So, no, I just think that people might think the Kings. Well, I don't know what I was listening to, but somebody was like, Kings are a faux, good team.
FAUX, faux, faux fur. Gotcha.
All right, let's keep the winning going and go to college basketball. Mindy, we got 7 or 8 games, I think, right now. Maybe there'll be some additions, but I don't know how many we can get in. If you got some, I know we've asked to go into the chat. I know Latifah wanted some more games, but we're gonna maybe exercise our Latifah exclusivity. She'll work with us, and we might not want to do too many games because of so many games today. So
we can do some, privately in the Discord as well.
Oh, that's a great point too. Yeah, just we won't get any consensus out of it necessarily.
True.
It has to be on this show. Remember, with our show, you guys, we resell these consensus plays that Mindy and I agree on, and you can check our records over there. So, when someone comes in clowning us, even if I'm a bad boy today and feeling sorry for myself because of that, but our records over there, it shows our winning so far. So we may lose every day of the rest of the season, but it doesn't matter because right now we're winning, and we're going to try to keep it going thanks to you guys. All right, we got you on that one, Carl. I think we can maybe squeeze that one in. The thing about that, the early games we try to go later on these Saturday games a little bit, so maybe we can come back to it. Mindy's TCU in Kansas, was a requested game and a pretty awesome game. And
yeah,
right now,
this one here was definitely by request. But yeah, I mean, I have Kansas winning this one. I have them winning it by, I don't know, about 4. But Kansas is the better offensive team. They average 116 points per 100 possessions, while TCU is 110 per 100 possessions. So each of these teams light it up here on offense. But it's just Kansas hasn't been covering the spread. I can't really trust them to do that. Road team also 6-2 in the last 8. I'm going to take TCU +7.
Yeah, me too. It was going to be a premium for me. Look, I don't know. I mean, I'm not downgrading Kansas at all, Mindy. I mean, they're still having a great season, 16-2. But TCU has been one of the best surprises right now in the country. Even though they now have 4 losses, we know they've lost 3 out of their last 4, but they were all, lost at West Virginia. It's pretty tough. Lost at Texas, tough game, right? They were dogs there. Losing that game to Iowa State, that maybe was a concern. But I want to come back on TCU plus the points here, just because Kansas 5-10 against the spread as a favorite, 4-7 against the spread at home. So against a team like TCU, it just, to me, indicates maybe they're giving him a little bit too many points. And you mentioned your power numbers showing it within just a couple of baskets. So I think that's right. Let's go with TCU +7 in this game against Kansas. And we do see MT is with us here on this one. But I think Fuzzy Kong Ball says double digits.
Yeah, he says, no way. Not so fast.
Mm-hmm. Scott says appreciates it. Okay. So we did get that one, and we'll see what we do here. But again, on Saturday, we try to stay away because, we do chop up these videos and repurpose them. And, I know Tony had a video for a couple of early games, like the Miami and Duke game, for example. But we try to go later in the afternoon because our crew actually reposts them. And by the time we get off the air, if I could just shut up for a minute, then they only really have just and there's no shelf life to it at all. I'm not trying to make it all about the business, but kind of is a little bit. So I think Numbers Gang, though, might be talking about this game and says that maybe just too many points today. Is that what he's agreeing with us? Is that what he's doing, agreeing with us?
I think.
Okay. Latifa TCU taking the points. Jeffrey Linton TCU. Hey, Mindy, say hello to Albert.
Hello.
Welcome, Albert. Nice to have
Albert.
you. Even if you're disagreeing with us, we appreciate your comments very much. And I don't know if we've had the pleasure, so welcome to Team Steam. And if you're going to put in great comments like that, whether it's agreeing or disagreeing, we hope you'll be a part of our audience and be a part of Team Steam, because I'm sure there'll be just as many games that we agree on. So Neil's putting another game in there. I think we're actually covering that one coming up. So Burley says doesn't necessarily trust TCU. Scott says he likes Kansas. Look, I agree. Oh, thanks, Albert. Okay, cool. So you've been around. Okay. Fuzzy says adding points. So it sounds like he wants to go to the alternative universe there a little bit. I think for me, Mindy, yes, TCU has shown some vulnerability,
Sure.
but Kansas, that's a bad record. 5-10 is a favorite. They're favorite here. So TCU's been getting numbers this season despite this little stretch. Maybe it's all over for TCU. Maybe they're not going to stop covering, but I can't get off them right now. Okay. UCLA and Arizona. We saw what happened in the last game when UCLA's last game against ASU, for example, and Arizona's game against SC. So we do have something to work with a little bit here as we get kind of deep into the Pac-12 play. So what do you see here in this one? Obviously, Mindy, pretty significant game because you got UCLA still undefeated in conference, and Arizona, one of the 3 loss teams right now. It's ASU actually with 2 losses, and then you have the group of 4 teams: Utah, Arizona, Oregon, SC, all with 3 losses.
Well, I mean, I just think UCLA's defense is just going to be too much for this Arizona team here today. I mean, I just think, man, just too good. They're 4-1 on the road. Arizona's 4-6 at home. Bruins 7-1 against the spread versus a team with a winning record. Arizona 1-3 in the last 5 home games against the spread. I think UCLA should be able to cover this one today, Ramon.
All right. Let me make sure that spread is right. I mean, basically, you're just calling for an outright victory, I would guess, Mindy, with this spread. Now, I understand it's up to 1.5. So I guess you're saying, that they could lose this game by a point. You still trust them. I know you'll be taking we'll be taking the points, I would think, with our selection here. Obviously, that means I'm agreeing with you. And I kind of agree with you on the total as well. I mean, if you look at these 2 teams, they both have gone under in 7 of the last 10 games. They both have. So right now, as we're into conference play, that's what we're talking about pretty much with both teams now with 8 games. So under has been the trend now that we've got into conference play. But you have UCLA 12-7 ATS and Arizona 7-12 ATS. The Bruins 5-2 against the spread on the road. Arizona 5-9 against the spread at home. Well, maybe Arizona ends up laying too many points, but
right?
Does that matter, right? Because here they're a favorite again, even though it's just by 1.5. They're 7-12 against the spread as a favorite. Let's take the Bruins to keep it rolling here. So, MT, I think you got the right idea there. But Jeffrey says go over in this game.
Who does KenPom have winning that game?
Well, let me take a look. I would sure he has it rated.
I don't know if he has it up right now.
And no, I do have it. I do actually have it up right now. And right now he's showing KenPom has this one at 78-75 in favor of UCLA. So
okay, by 3. Okay.
And again, I do like KenPom, but I'll just say, I mean, I have my own set of numbers, and they're really, I don't have enough time to necessarily update. Really, my numbers are more of a collaboration of all the power ratings that I like to use.
Yeah, because you keep your own set of
one of my own, right?
Yeah.
Mine is not. I'm never going to go independent. I just use it as a fraction of it. But the ones that I like to use besides KenPom, if anybody doesn't use other, KenPom is so universal, right? It's kind of, I don't want to say it's a great resource. I mean, it's awesome, and it's very accurate too. But I also like, if anybody else, and maybe we can get your comments in the chat. Do you use any other independent power rankings other than your own? I use also the Sagarin ratings. I use the Massey ratings. I like to look at those as well. Those 2 independent ratings, if you will. So, and I also like to look at the numbers that VSIN puts out, but with their algorithm. So, just some other things that I kind of look at when I'm looking at other suggestions. And I think it's very important to take other people's other computers into account, if you will.
Right.
So.
Information is power, Ramon.
Right. I mean, just like Tony was commenting, a lot of times in the game, it's great to watch all these games, and I probably get up, probably watch too many games, but and there's something to be said for the eye test, but really you got to crunch these numbers. I mean, you really do. All right, and NC State going against North Carolina. This one 5 Eastern, 4 Central, 2 Pacific. And I'm showing right now it is North Carolina certainly the favorite here. This is game number 739 and 740. Carolina 6.5, 153.5, up a point.
I think I'm going to go with NC State here and the points. NC State, they average 78 points a game here offensively. And North Carolina, they, are only basically getting about 62 points on offense. So, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see where this one kind of falls, into play here. But I think I'm going to go with the state team here today.
All right, Mindy, I want to agree with you and go with NC State. I want to shout out MT for that comments about using the morning steam, because MT, you and I have been hanging out in a lot of the same chat rooms for a long time. A lot of people that I respect out there, and for you to comment like that really does make me feel pretty good, I must say, with the man of your experience and all the chat rooms we've been hanging out in. So thank you very much. But I agree with you in this one, Mindy. I want to go on NC State in this one, in this rivalry game with Carolina. I think that's how I feel taking the points here in this one. That's, I just have it tightly contested. Certainly, I think NC State's done their share of covering so far this year, and I think Carolina's been guilty of end up laying a few too many points. I think in a close rivalry game like this. Oh, hey, Albert Cabral's got something for us as well. What does he say? He likes North Carolina on the spread.
NC State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. You said North Carolina.
Oh, he likes NC State on the spread.
Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, easy to screw this one up, right?
Right.
With these two teams. And let me just check on that, too, actually, when he talks about and one other thing that stands out, I think we forgot to mention it the other day, but, Northwestern's having those COVID issues. Mindy, their game is canceled. Anybody probably knows that already. 6-13, 6-14, that game is canceled. We know that the Northwestern game against Iowa the other day was also canceled because Northwestern having a little bit of COVID issues there. So, not to bring that up too much, but certainly something to take note of. So, and we know Baycott had his injury. He's not on the injury report. I think he did play last game anyways. So, I get it for Albert.
Kind of dinged up all year, mostly. Yeah.
Say that, yeah. Anyways, State, decent cover so far, but consider North Carolina 6-13 against the spread so far this season. So let's go on North Carolina State for another consensus play here. And somebody wanted Clemson. Well, here we are. I wish we had enough time to get some of these steams coming in. There's a lot of it, Mindy, but we just got to get to these games. Virginia Tech and Clemson, and I'm showing Clemson here. This is 761, 762. So Clemson is a 1-point favorite, total 140.5.
Yeah, I mean, as the spread indicates, it's going to be a close one. I like Clemson here. Virginia Tech is 0-5 on the road this season. Clemson, they're 10-0 at home, 5-5 against the spread, but basically this is really not a spread game. So, I mean, if they're going to win at home, they'll win at home. And so to me, it's, virtually, a pick 'em game here. And I think Clemson at home will get this one.
All right, Mindy's going to be on Clemson in this one to get the money. And, I've got to agree with you. I mean, I was trying maybe to think about giving another suggestion so we could have a little variety, but I can't not agree with you and just for the sake of another pick. I mean, I don't want to be accused of rigging the over/under and being, that I'm cheating the system. What would I'd be accused of wrongdoing if I were to do that for Mindy just by choosing another game when I definitely agreed with you. So unless of course it was a premium, I can always do that, but it's not necessarily. So I'm going to agree with you. I mean, Virginia Tech's been pretty crummy against the spread. How about 0-5 against the spread on the road, right? You said,
Right.
and 6-12 against the spread overall. Clemson 6-4 against the spread their last 10. They're definitely looking pretty decent in that. So here's
Yeah, it would be consensus tampering. That's what it would be. I like that.
I knew there was a name for it. Okay. So percent better. Good to see you again here as well today. He says go under in this one. I wasn't so sure about that. I mean, these two teams are heavy overs, but I don't know if I was going to with a premium or anything on that. So Jeffrey Linton says Clemson too much home cooking. Does that mean they've? I think that's I think that's an agreement there. Tony Livernessi says it's what the Gamecocks fans say, right? So, okay, Mindy, we got another one. We're going to take Clemson against Virginia Tech here in this one. Virginia Tech, I said 0-5 against the spread on the road, which they are. They're also 0-5 straight up, and we know that Clemson is 10-0 against the spread, 10-0 straight up, right? So, no, isn't that kind of interesting, right? Clemson, they're 15-4. Virginia Tech's 11-7. Nothing too special, right? You got a 10-0 home team against an 0-5 road team, and the spread is 1 point. Maybe, this is one where sometimes you'd say, are we missing something? But who cares, right? How you guys say in the chat, don't overthink it. I would think this is a don't overthink it type of game, right? All right. Alabama and Missouri. In this one, we have Alabama -5, 162.5 now.
I still sometimes don't know what to think about this Missouri team, but I'm taking Alabama today at -5.5 here. Missouri only averaging 69 points a game here over the last 3 or so here in conference play. Alabama, on the other hand, putting up close to 90. I think Alabama can get it done, especially when I don't know which Missouri team will show up. I'm taking Alabama. Oh, -5 now. Even better.
And look at that total. You talked about it, Mindy. Wow. I mean, look at some of the numbers on these two teams right now, especially Missouri, right? And now you're looking at a 162. What was the crummy game that made me mad last night? That, man, I was like, look at this high total, and I'm going to go over. And it ended up going the Toledo Buffalo game. I had a premium on that. And I think it was going over most of the way. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the car, I was watching, I wasn't paying attention to that game as much, but it seemed like it really stopped and ended up going way under. And that was a bad job by me. I had a premium on the over in one of these big totals, and, well, it didn't quite work out. So as far as Alabama and Missouri is concerned, Mindy, man, you're on Bama, huh?
Yep, that's it.
Let me check my notes here. Yeah, can't do it. I can't do it. I want to trust Alabama on the road. I'm going to go under in this game with Alabama and Missouri. There's not a lot of trends to indicate what these teams are doing necessarily that would make any argument for it necessarily. I mean, both teams have been pretty solid at covering the spread. We know Alabama 5-1 against the spread on the road, including 10-6 as a favorite, but Missouri has done a little bit of covering as well. But I will note that, Missouri does go over quite a bit, but I just think this number is too high now at 162.5. I'm going to have to go under in this one. So let's see. Blake said, do you have that consensus? I don't know.
Oh, consensus count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A lot.
Joe Jiggy on Bama. Roll Tide wants Bama. And Albert, yeah, well, I guess we could throw the comment. Yeah, I think you did get suspended. I actually have. I want to make too much light of it. I haven't seen. I mean, obviously, there's some there were very serious charges. I don't think anything's changed on the status of that situation, but I think he's been ruled out for the season. I don't think there's any indication that. I mean, he's facing serious charges. So Carl does want the over there. So you got it, Albert. I am a honorary member of Two Old Ladies Who Bet and
Yeah,
Stuff.
the two old ladies is me on the typing.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't mind when they say that because I feel like, I'm not a lady, but I mean I'm old,
Right.
and
Yeah.
we know that
And
that's
you're part of our team.
Mindy and Tiffany. But yeah, I'm part of the team. Two old ladies that bet and stuff. Even though I've never been asked to appear on their show.
Right. We need to do that. We need to bring in some experts in things like golf and tennis and MMA.
Let's take a look. Yeah, I can't wait for some of these tennis matches tonight. I will have selections. I will have UFC selections as well. So, again, that card coming from Rio de Janeiro. Texas and West Virginia here, Mindy, in this one. Boy, it was close to a pick, but now West Virginia's won 145.5.
Yeah, so if you guys were in Discord this morning, Ramon was firing in the steam. And I love it, by the way. But I like that. I like that steam this morning. I'm taking the home team in a close one. I have it coming down to basically a basket here. Texas still 1-2 against the spread on the road. I like West Virginia at home.
Yeah, West Virginia, they finally got a win when they won that TCU game. But, yeah, Texas is having some issues, certainly, with covering numbers. They haven't played that many road games. And despite all of West Virginia's, woes, if you will, of late, with their losing streak that they had, they're still 8-2 straight up at home. They're 10-1 against the spread, win favored. Straight up, that is. And now they are favored in this game, right, by 1 point. So I think that's a pretty key indicator there, actually. And I think this is a spot for West Virginia. Yeah, I mean, they're not playing that West Virginia defense. I said it on the last show, and that's obviously indicative of the high scores that they're playing. You look at this one, 145.5. This one might make the card, Mindy, if you know what I mean. Here, especially you look at some of the scores that Texas has been, putting. Remember that Kansas State game, right? That one was an outrageous one, like 220 points or something like that. So, anyways, let's get on West Virginia here for another consensus play in this one. Texas, yeah,
Number 10, West Virginia.
2-1 on straight up on the road, but the only time they were an underdog on the road, they did lose. So Albert cannot trust Texas. And Albert also, he likes Huggy Bear. Saw him honored earlier this year a little bit. It's probably been frustrating for Hugs over the last few games. So Neil, don't tell anybody. I don't know if Jeffrey Linton is giving out a play there, but tonight Coco Gauff, she's probably about a $4 favorite against Ostapenko tonight. I know that, so I don't know if he's giving her out as a play or if he just likes her. She should win, but Ostapenko just pulled off a big upset too to get to this point. So. Carl's talking about A&M Kentucky. I think that's one of our games, Mindy. No, it was not, right?
So. Right, correct.
All right. And Latifa, I think she's coming in with a play here on West Virginia. Thanks to
that was
Latifa.
One of the ones that she wanted. So
okay.
But we were already doing that one, so.
Yeah. And again, I don't know. Latifa's doing such a great job keeping everybody engaged, so gracious with her time to just even if it was just saying hi to everyone. Wow, I mean, just amazing the work she's doing with us. Um, okay, next up, Florida and Mississippi State, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, 5:30 Pacific. And in this one, Mississippi State finding them as a 2.5 point favorite, total 128.5.
Yeah, I like Florida here in this spot. Mississippi State just hasn't been able to score, averaging 57 points a game offensively. Defensive efficiencies here are nearly identical, but Florida is 4-0 on the road this season. Mississippi State, on the other hand, 4-6 against the spread here at home. I'm going to try Florida in this spot, Ramon.
Okay, I got to be on it with you because I really like the total in this game. And I don't know, what were you saying about defensive efficiency?
That's pretty good.
Pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You wonder if these two, playing against each other, maybe it'll be a different story. They've had some high-scoring games in a row. I know they've gone over in 4 straight in the series, but hard to ignore some of the scores they've gone through so far this year. So, Fuzzy Kong Balls, I think he's saying state here. I don't know. And Jeffrey Linton says Coco Goff. Mindy, let's take Florida in this one. Mississippi State 7-11 against the spread, 3-7 against the spread their last 10. You do have a Florida team that has covered 4 of 6 on the road, and Mississippi State just 5-7 against the spread at home. Maybe wish we were getting just a little bit more, but
Always.
we're the 12-6 team against the 10-8 team. Florida's getting some respect there. Let's take them. Take Florida plus the points in this one. All right. Okay, Carl. Thank you.
But Carl, we can put it in Discord. So if you join Discord, we can put it in there. Just tell us what game you want to look at, and we can give our opinions.
You did mention them in the.
But I'm not sure who they are in Discord yet, so I'm trying to find it all out.
No, I mean, I think you put some on screen here, possibly.
Yeah, he might have. But what I'm saying is if he has to leave right now and go to work, well, we're not probably going to, get to it for him.
Okay. Thank you, Carl. We appreciate you very much. I'm sorry you got to work today with all this great ball going on. USC and Arizona State. I'm sorry, Minnie. Here we go. USC and Arizona State. Arizona State minus 3.5, 138.5.
Well, I think I'm going to look over the total here. USC averaging 68 points a game. Arizona State 78 in its last 3. And they also average 87. So even more if I take a look at that, season-long average. Both these teams really, really good offensively. And defensively, it's about a 5-point, variance there. I'm going to go over the 138.5 here in this one.
All right. Mindy wants to go over in this one at 138.5. And I'm going to agree with her and take one more consensus premium play. So I was really teetering actually on this one between the side and the total, but the fact that you like it over, and I think that's a safe way to go here. Arizona State right now is just playing to a lot of overs. We know SC does play some pretty decent defense, but look at some of the scores that ASU has just put up recently. They're in a real streak of overs right now for sure, going over in quite a few games in a row. So let's go over in this one with SC and Arizona State, see if we continue to ride that Arizona streak of overs. Scotch, thank you once again. I feel bad, we're at work right now, and
right.
Percent Better is going to be on with us. I believe he's talking about this game here as well. Albert Cabral.
Also. All right.
Yeah. Yep. TJ is a little bit behind us, but that's okay. Let's go over. So, man, we're going to get there probably on that 12 plays.
We are at 12.
We're at 12 right now, and we haven't even got to this massive hockey card yet.
14 games in hockey? Goodness.
Okay. Hey, get on my 3-day pass because my college basketball is going to be coming at you fast and furious today. Starting to perk up in
Late
college
steam, late
basketball.
steam, late steam.
Yeah, wish I could, be more productive with my time, but uh, between putting the show together and trying to,
I'm with you, right?
nope, I'm not complaining, boss. I don't want to be,
No, it's just hard to get through all of it, and then plus get your picks in, and then plus get the show done before some of these 11 o'clockers. That's
yeah.
the only thing. So we have to bring them
Well,
in during the
Tony
day
seems
here.
to do it just fine, but
What's that?
Tony seems to do it just fine, but he's so disciplined. I mean,
It's true.
sometimes I'm sitting there at the computer working and his show comes on. I'm like, okay, I'll just watch Tony's show, listen to some analysis as I'm working on it too. All right. Now that hockey time. Hockey, trophy, yellow, smiling.
I can see it on my phone,
Okay.
Ramon.
All right, let's get to it. Let's get through it. Ducks and Sabres. This one goes off 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central, 9:30 Pacific. With this one, I'm showing that the Sabres a pretty big favorite here. The send out was as low as 210. I guess that was ridiculous. And because right now we're seeing, I would imagine, upwards of 250, 260. What is it right now? It's up to 270, 6.5 over 30.
270? No. Sabres, ranked 21st in goals against with 152. Ducks are ranked 32nd with 191. Over is 7-0 in the Ducks last 7. 6-1 the Sabres last 7 here as well. Taking the over today, Ramon.
I'm taking the over as well, Mindy. I mean, that has to be the way this one goes. I'm sorry it's 6.5, but we are talking about the Buffalo Sabres here. Yeah, I mean, finally we're getting to see some overs from Anaheim. I guess early in the season we wouldn't have trusted them at this point, but how many in a row has it been? Several in a row for Anaheim.
7.
Right? 7 in a row. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean that I mean, I know it was a lot, but I know Buffalo 4 in a row over, but we know they've been a massive over team this year, 25-18 to the over. And now look out, Anaheim 14-10 to the over on the road. Let's take over 6.5, juiced up to 30.
Of
Whatever. We don't care. We'll lay it. Albert does not like it. Jeez, Batman, come on. You're just getting.
I mean, I tend to kind of lean towards the Ducks on the puck line in this one today, but
hey, Batman, go on the beginning of the show. I talked about one of your videos.
shout out.
Check out what I had to say about one of your videos, one of your songs early in the show. At the beginning, let's scroll too far. Here's percent better on the over here. Latifa on the over as well. I think everybody likes the over here. So easy over. Oh boy, it's scary because of talking about overs and everybody likes it. Oh well, we're on it.
Yeah.
Number 13, and speaking of over, we went over again. They can't set the line too low for us in premium consensus land. Lightning and Flames here, almost a pick 'em. I'll call the Flames $1.15 at the square books. At the sharp books, you're going to see $1.10, maybe even closer to a pick 'em. The total 6 over 15.
I think I like the Lightning today. 4-1 their last 5, scoring 4.5 goals a game over those last 5. Flames now lost their last 2, scored only 1 goal in each of those games there as well. Lightning 6-1 in the last 7 here with the Flames too. Going with the Lightning.
Oh boy, Mindy, I'm gonna go on the under. I do lean Lightning. I'll say I lean Lightning. I don't feel confident, even though, Mindy, I'm on the wrong game now with Joe Jiggy. Here we go. So yeah, even though I should kind of, because I agree with you, but it's only a lean, and I like the under just a little bit. better. So I'm not saying we don't need to go on a bunch of premiums, but I think I have to go with the total in this
Okay.
one under, especially Tampa Bay 7-12-3 to the under on the road, 2-5 to the under as a dog. They're not underdogs very often, but they are here under today. And now I got percent better at least on with me. Latifa is on with you, so that makes me feel good. But I don't know. I kind of don't mind Calgary. I don't know. I'm a wash on that. Both teams have been pretty solid right now. I will say Tampa Bay now as an underdog, 1-6 straight up.
Look out.
Yeah, so maybe that is an indicator for you guys. Here's a prop, but maybe that is an indicator for you guys that maybe Calgary could be the side for me, but right now I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go on the under. Middies on Tampa Bay. Yeah, I didn't mean to steal your thunder on that one, but that's the one number that's keeping me off agreeing with you as far as getting
If
on the
they're
right.
officially considered to be the favorite or not.
Well, no, I think
Is what you said,
Calgary.
yeah.
It's close enough, right, that
Yeah.
you could throw those numbers out, but there's always going to be, unless it's an absolute perfect down the middle. I mean, which could happen, but doesn't really necessarily. You could always say. And I think if you look across the board right now, at least at all the books that I follow, I'm looking at Calgary. I'm showing a pick 'em at one book. I'm showing them 109 at another, 107, 115. Their favorite, if they're to pick them or favored, which would make them the favorite, I think here. While I went over the odds screen, college basketball total popped up for some steam, so I'll read one off at least. Charleston and Northeastern is getting steamed right now over 144. That's College of Charleston, the awesome. Wow.
Ramon's favorite team.
Yeah, and they're going over.
Getting
That's
there.
a surprise, right? To a certain extent, but over is the way that one's going right now. So, all right. And all right, so we got a little not disagreement, but Mindy's on Tampa. I'm on the under. Wild and Panthers here, and I'm showing in this one the Panthers are favored $1.15 or so in total. 6.5 over 20. Total's going up a little bit.
Yeah, both teams here 3-1 over their last 4 games, but the Panthers are scoring more here as of late. 4.5 goals per game. Wild sitting at 3. I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers. They're 4-1 their last 5 here, playing on some rest. Taking the Panthers here, about minus 115.
All right, Mindy is on the Florida Panthers at home. Minnesota, they maybe I will say this, I maybe haven't figured out Minnesota as well as I would like. So I'm not going to go with the side necessarily because my lean is Minnesota and I seem to get them wrong every time. So maybe just stay away from that. And this number is pretty high, but I'll go over in this one with the Wild and the Panthers. You do have Florida at home. Whoa!
Well, what'd you do, Ramon?
Knocked over the remote control, one of them. And it's funny, I shouldn't ever knock because I have a Velcro thing with all the remotes lined up. But Florida 12-8 to the over at home, 20-13-2 to the over as a favorite. Meanwhile, Minnesota 7-3 to the over as an underdog. So I want to go over even at 6.5. I'm going to go over in this one, but percent better. Is going to disagree with me in this one. Fuzzy Kong Balls is with you in this one. Mindy says he likes the Panthers. All right. Here's one that I was talking about the other night, Mindy. One time I went to a game at the old Montreal Forum.
Did you?
Yep. I was at a trade show, a screen printing trade show. I worked for a software company for a couple of years and was in Montreal and had the night off. And I went to a Toronto-Montreal game, and it was the biggest hockey fights. I've never seen any hockey fights ever in person like this. And I've been to, a few dozen games in my life, mostly Kings and Ducks. I'm not counting minor league. I've been to plenty of Gulls games. I covered the goals for several years. But biggest fights ever, but Montreal won the game 7-0. I think it was 1980. I want to say 1992 or so. I think maybe 80, 90, 92, somewhere in there, right at the end. They moved into their other center just a year or two after that. So I don't even remember the year. But anyways, the game was a bummer, 7-0, but a bunch of fights made it worthwhile. Leafs and Canadiens today. Leafs favored here. That spread is obviously wrong. The Leafs are 340, six under, 6.5.
340?
Leafs 340,
So it opened at -295 and they're up to 340. Oh my goodness. Well, I like, your team here on the puck line today. Canadians 15-6-2 versus the Maple Leafs at home over their last 23 here. Both teams 2-1 over the last 3. Canadians scoring just under 3 goals. Maple Leafs sitting around 4. I like the 1.5 puck line here today with the Canadians.
I like the price on the Canadians, and I think I will agree with you. How can you said it? I mean, and the send out was 250. It was even lower than that.
Was it really
250? 1% better says up to 365. So
wow.
I think Latifa likes hockey fights. She probably buy those VHS tapes that were all hockey fights. Hey, see spills here. All right. Yeah, Mindy. Neil says, "What is Montreal on the money?"
It was -105 when it was 295, so it's obviously plus money now.
No, money line. He said.
Money line. Oh, my fault.
Probably plus the 300 at FanDuel. I would think at least. I'm showing at least 295 at the Sharp books. So at the Square books, you got to think they might be getting $3 or so. So. I don't know. I got burned last time I tried Montreal on the money line. Remember the other night I liked them pretty big, but percent better says 285 is what he's seeing. But I'll take them puck line with you. We're getting plus money, I would think.
Yeah,
it might be even money at the Square books, but I think at the Sharp books you might get a little more, even plus $1.10 or so. So. Let's get on Montreal here. You mentioned it. They do give Toronto for whatever it's worth. And you mentioned those trends, right? What did you say, 14-6? And it's not like Montreal has been any good over the last decade or more.
Right.
They've been crummy, and Toronto's had good teams. So, again, it's Toronto. It's Montreal. And, there's Jeffrey on puck line. And, I agree. I mean, maybe puck line is better, but I don't mind a little sprinkle if you want. And again, it's really the same to a certain extent when you talk about betting one or the other. I mean, it's kind of, granted, you can lose one and, but the number of times you're going to lose by one, you might be able to get the win too. So really it should even out. Percent better is maybe not so good to even play this game.
We don't get a choice, Ramon. We're going for it every single game.
Montreal.
We put our play in.
Sharks.
Again, you haven't asked in a long time, by the way. I'm just, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that really is what I'm really just can't even think of what I'm going to do. Sharks 140. I've tried to be better prepared. That's it.
Oh, gotcha.
140. And total here 6.5, under 15. So no, I'm sorry. 140, 6.5, over 20, just like it says there on the screen. Take it away.
Well, I mean, both these teams are pretty bad defensively. Sharks ranked 29th in goals against. Blue Jackets ranked 30th in goals against. The overs 5-1. The Sharks last 6 road games here. Over 6-1. The Blue Jackets last 7. I'm going to take the over here.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's another 6.5 over. But how can I not take the over with these two teams right now, it feels like, right? I mean, San Jose is the biggest over in the league, if I'm not mistaken. 30-14 to the over. So pretty big time. And here they are, a favorite. They're not favored very often. They're 8-2 to the over as a favorite. Columbus is 16-9 to the over at home. I know we got to get 7 goals here, but let's take the over in this one. I don't know if I like that price on the Sharks. I think they could and should win, but they're still the Sharks. I mean, yes, Columbus is having all sorts of issues. We know that, and the Sharks, did a nice job in that Dallas game, no doubt about it. So, but everybody here is on the Sharks. It looks like, Mindy. Everybody's liking the Sharks here. I've seen 4 or 5 people on the Sharks. So I don't know. I don't know if I can.
I like the 4-3, 5-3 Sharks. I'll take it.
Okay, that's good. That's like an over. So we got somebody agreeing with us on the total. So let's agree. Let's agree. All right. Here's the Flyers and the Red Wings, Mindy, and in this one I'm showing it is the Red Wings $1.40, 6 over. Oh, 6. I don't know. Let me see if there were 6.5. Did I mess this one up? No. Well, the send out was 6.5 under 20. I think I did mess this one up though. I would say for the most part the total was always 6.
Okay, that's what I had.
The send out was 6.5 under. When I say send out, everybody, that's like one of the major line organizations that that sports books use to kind of help them open their book. It's provided on one of the services. So, but here right now, it is 140 and 6 over 15 or so.
Well, I was going to go over this total of 6. Red Wings here giving up 4 goals over their last 4 games here. In each of those games, Flyers, same kind of thing, giving up 4 goals a game. Over 5-0 in the Flyers last 5, when their opponent allows 2 goals or less the previous game here. Over 4-1 the last 5. I'm taking the over 6.
Okay, Mindy's going to go on the over here in this one with Flyers and Red Wings. Let's see what the chat has to say. Oh, nothing yet, huh? Okay, nothing on this game. So,
Not so far.
I don't know. I was kind of thinking under with these two teams. You have Detroit 9-14 to the under at home, and Philly 10-14 to the under on the road. So, I'm going to give the Flyers a shot here as an underdog at plus 125 or so. I'll take Philadelphia on the road against the Red Wings. The Red Wings have kind of owned them a little bit of late, but we know that, Philly still has a pretty decent record. Yeah, Detroit's the better team right now, but it could be close. I'll take the Flyers on the money line.
Cool.
Mindy, Latifa, I think she's talking about this game. And she's going, I think this game she's saying over. And percent better agrees with me with Flyers. So, all right, I got percent better with me. Yep, Latifa's on the over with you. And I don't know, kind of leaning the other way.
It's a close one.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be a premium. Otherwise, I'd probably try to not say that. Hope you guys appreciate, I kind of hint at some of the premiums a little bit. So Verley also was on over in that game. All right. Jets and Senators here. Right now it's the Jets 130-ish. And this one definitely, let me make sure on this one too. I think I messed this one up because it's right now it's 6 over 15. Yeah, I'm actually showing what the biggest online sports book in the nation is currently at 6.5 under. But I think I better call it 6 over because that looks like most of the books are at 6.
Oh, give me the 6.5, Ramon. I want to do the under here in this game.
No, I will, because I no doubt if anybody looks at it, I'm not just doing it for Mindy. Anybody can line shop. Mindy, I believe, is in a state where this book is offered. Not sure, But it is at the biggest online sports book in the country right now, 6.5 under 20.
Yeah, I'm going to go under. Jets have scored two or fewer goals in their last 3 games. Senators have scored one or fewer goals 3 out of their last 4. Under 10-1. Jets last 11 road games here as well. Taking the under.
Well, I was talking about hinting about the premiums. I'm not going to get, saying, but I'm going to hold out hope now. Really, if it was 6, I was going to agree with you. But if I might be able to get some, maybe the back end, maybe we can get it up to 6 and 6.5. I kind of like what you're saying with the game. No doubt about it. I don't know how else I can put it. Percent better. I don't know. I don't like to name. We don't like to say the names here because they're not necessarily paying us. And but I would say that Donkey Kong, it kind of has the same letters as Donkey Kong. How's that? Is that doing it for anybody? I'm going to take the Jets here on the road as my free play in this one, Mindy. I think you look at Ottawa; they're just 6-15 straight up on the at home, and Winnipeg's 17-5 straight up on the road. So this looks like a great price, actually. Maybe I shouldn't be holding out for Corday like that one. Let me say Corday. I'm pretty sure I'm getting it right, Mindy.
I think so, with the accento at the end.
Yeah, because I heard Tony, if you're watching Corday, and Tony, I think is saying Cord, but I think we got Corday in there. So, all right. And Neil's coming in saying 4-1 or 4-2. That would kind of get Mindy home. So I'm going to take the Jets. So I think it's a pretty good price, man. I could go either way on the premium with that. So Mindy's on the under and I'm on the Jets here today. And Fuzzy says, yeah, if we can get 6.5, let's do it. I'm going to just wait. I mean, that's a late start. So, coming in, I'm going to be coming in late play.
Might be coming in hot. Look out for Ramon. Late steam.
Get my 3-day, please, today. So I'm not going to sell any packages if we don't get this show done. All right, Hurricanes and Islanders here.
We're almost done. We're getting closer. What do we got? 2 left? Jeez,
no, there's a few more than that.
No. 3, 4, 5, 6. I forgot I had another sheet. Disregard.
A lot of hockey. But here I'm showing right now Hurricanes minus 165, 5.5, under 15.
Yeah, the over here's hit the last 4 out of 5 in the Hurricanes games. Over 8-1. Islanders last 9 versus a team with a winning record here. Pick is over.
You going over, huh?
Yeah, I'm taking over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the over, especially if it's at 5.5. Let me see if I can get on this with you. Nothing really indicates to me that, probably right on. So I don't know. Let me check the market action a little bit here. That's what I like to do on a game that has a total of 5.5, certainly, because that my numbers certainly line up with this one and doesn't really give me any leeway one way or the other. So let me see how the Sharps are kind of looking at this one. Maybe I can get on with you because I don't know if I like the Hurricanes at this price now. I mean, the send-out was as low as 140, and now we're talking about a 170, 165 at some of the square books. I don't know, Mindy. I'm going to go with the Islanders as a dog here. Give me the Islanders. That's the way I'm going to look at it. If anything, the market indicator to me is that it is going to be certainly right there. It might be more 5 than 6 to me. So that's the way I'm going to go. I know Carolina has been terrific. Islanders haven't been terrible though. 13-8 at home. They've been struggling of late for sure, no doubt about it. And they're a terrible underdog. But I'm going to try them here at plus money.
All righty.
1% better does love the over, actually. I think he's talking about if he's talking about this game, because because here's Fuzzy with me on the
Yeah.
Islander. Neil Boyce wants the Canes goes. Yeah. All right. Next up, Kings and Preds. In this one, Mindy, I'm showing the Predators are $1.15 or so, and this one is pretty much a 6 flat.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Kings here. I'm going to take them to the over. I meant the Kings and Predators game. Going over in the Kings' last 4. They're 4-1. The Kings' last 5 here overall. Also over 6-1 when opponent scores 2 goals or less in the previous game. I like the over.
I like the over as well. Let's get our third consensus play in this one, right? I like the over, I think, in this one. We know the Kings are pretty solid on the over as a dog. They're 13-9 to the over. Meanwhile, Nashville as a favorite is 11-7 to the over, and I'm showing Nashville currently as a favorite. So let's go over in this one. Nashville does play to the under at home a little bit, but percent better is going to be with us. And Fuzzy Kong Ball says could be 6 flat for a reason. Blake says he wants to go over as well. I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. So, all right. They're surprised maybe you took the over in this
What,
one.
because I've been saying a lot of under today? Is that the deal?
Have you been?
I don't know.
I don't know. I do know you went under in Winnipeg. No, you have not been saying a lot of unders at all today, but you've been mostly on the no, you're on more overs than unders, I think, here today. Just a couple.
I see.
You had 3 totals, I think.
Always being spooky. Scary.
Spooky Express. Latifa's on the Kings. I think I agree with Latifa there. And maybe even make the card. Maybe make the card. Especially
for sure, Ramon. It's going to be on mine for sure.
Oh, okay. Coyotes and Stars here. Stars 330, 6 over 15.
So yeah, I'm gonna go under in this one here too. Ramon. Stars now ranked 7th in goals against and allowed 0 goals in their last game versus those Kings. Under 4-0 Coyotes last 4. Under 18-7-1 in the Stars last 26 overall. A lot of seasons. We know that the Stars have been scoring a little bit more, but I still like the under here today.
No, you said it. The Stars have been a good under this year. 18-26 to the under, you said? That sounds pretty good to me. Both teams have gone under in 7 of their last 10 games. Yeah, the Stars do play some overs at home, but I don't know. Arizona going into Dallas here. But they've played 3 straight matchups to 7 goals or more, but I'm gonna go under with you, I think, in this one, Mindy. Let's get another premium.
Display number.
Yeah. I mean, what am I gonna do? I mean, I like the Stars. I don't know if I want to lay a goal and a half though, and it's still minus $1.
God, I'd almost take Coyotes on the, on puck line.
No, I can't do it right now.
But no, I really don't like it.
All right, percent better's with us, so that makes it fine. Okay. That makes it fine. Let's do it. That's our 4th play on the hockey card. All right. Blackhawks and Blues, Mindy. When am I going to stop bagging on the Blackhawks? Let's just maybe they've just turned their whole season around. Maybe they're actually good all of a sudden. They're on a pretty much they're on their best streak of the year. They're on a heater.
I think I'm going to go ahead and take. What do you say? Over in Blues games, Ramon? Isn't that what your general rule of thumb is? I'm going to take the over 6 here in this one.
All right, Mindy, I'll do it. This was going to be a premium. This was going to be a premium, especially at 6, right? I mean, how can it not be when you're talking about the Blues? They still just massive overs every time. They did have a streak where we got, lost a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they came back in that game against Nashville the other night and went 5-2. So one of those other games that was a loss was still at 6 goals. It was just lined at 6.5. So um, Latifa's on the over with us.
Perfect.
So let's do it. We got another play. That's 5. We're on the over here. St. Louis.
6 in hockey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
really?
6. Yeah.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, yeah. St. Louis is still on that streak of overs to a certain extent. Despite those 3 unders, they've still been doing pretty darn well, going over the total. And Chicago's been an over team as well, just slightly, but obviously they're playing some of their best hockey, and they are averaging like 4 goals over the last 5 games, right? So let's go ahead and take the over in this one. I don't know if Joe means in general. Does it matter who's in goal? It is a factor for me, but I mean, we don't have any confirmed goalies, so
Not usually this early in the morning. We don't.
Yeah, but I do put the best, what I feel like are my best guesses in there. The goalies that you see for the most part, some of them are confirmed. When we're on a little slower show, I'll actually try to make sure I look and see. But right now, these are just my either confirmed or best guesses. But I'm not telling you I'm not holding back the information. I'm just not covering the information as far as which ones might be confirmed and which ones might be speculative, if you will. So, and yeah, I think what Batman. I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's talking about that at all. So, but again, a lot of times, I'm dealing with Mindy's dealing with those numbers, and for the most part, yes. I mean, a lot of times, some people will just default and say, "Hey, the backup goalie's in. Let's take the over." But the difference between goalies, even between a starter and a backup, is kind of minuscule. Now, granted, that is a big deal because in the long haul, it is going to make a difference, but it might not matter so much in just a 1-game sample size. So, okay, hope that explained a little bit. Oilers and Canucks, Mindy. The Oilers are $1.90 now, and this is the only 7 on the board, 7 under 15.
Oh goodness, the Oilers have moved up to 7. Oh, okay. Well,
Let me see. Yeah, in fact, so the 2 books that you and I are most concerned with, they're both 7.
all right. Well, I mean, I'm going to go to the over still. I mean, it still fits in my variance, but I don't like it as much, but I'm still hitting the over versus Canucks. Oilers 5-0 to the Oilers last 5 road games, over 5-3-1 Canucks last 9 overall. I'm still going to go to the over. Might be stupid now that it's, that's where it is. But again, if I look at what my variance is, it still fits even with that extra, half a goal in there.
I'm going to take the Oilers on the puck line here. For me, I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying on the total. I do have some problems, with a 7 in this game. I mean, needing to get to 8 goals. It's easy just to broad brush that and say it, but I think with this game, but Latifa does agree with us here in this one. So, but the thing is, even though both these teams kind of go over, especially we know Edmonton, we talked about the massive over teams. Edmonton is also one of them, and Vancouver is a solid over as well. But Vancouver at home is 9-12 to the under. So I'm going to go Edmonton on the puck line here, and percent better is going to agree with me. Jeffrey says over easy.
Okay.
Yep. Albert says Canucks scored only 1 goal last night in that game.
Went over. That was my free pick on the game day pick show
Against Colorado. Yep. And the sharp hockey expert on the show across the street also gave it out on Tony's late afternoon show. So when you guys were both on it, I kind of went with it too, privately,
right?
just for a bet. But so that was interesting there. And you know, funny because the write up. I don't know. I read the blog. I like to read the blog on Tony's site, and it kind of said Colorado would win the game, and I still went on Vancouver. So.
I had Colorado, but I probably would have leaned towards. I didn't play, but I probably would have leaned towards the Senators, and they got whooped by the Penguins, 4-1.
Capitals here against the Golden Knights. We're almost done, Mindy. I promise. Here's a
Is this it?
This is a virtual pick'em here. I've got the lineup from the square books at 105. Maybe the Capitals now are the favorite, but just slightly. I don't think it's even significant enough to do the graphic over in this one. Total is like 6 flat. This is like a pick'em and 6 flat. There's like nothing favored. That's just a line.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking the -105 Golden Knights team. It was like one of those stats where the favorite is 6-1 in the last 7. The home team is 5-2 in the last 7. This is when I had Golden Knights, of course, as being the favorite a little bit earlier on. Capitals, though, 0-4 in the last 4 meetings overall, 2-5 in the last 7 in Vegas. I'll take the Golden Knights today.
All right, Mindy's on the Knights. I can't get with Mindy on the Knights, and I need and I like this total a lot, so I'm gonna have to give a challenge out there. I know what you're saying about the Knights kind of owning the series with this one. I'm gonna try the Capitals. They've been a pretty solid road team, and the Knights have given back a little bit just of late. They're only 13-13 at home this season. They do their best work on the road. Meanwhile, Washington, we know that these teams have similar records straight up this season. Washington 12-9 straight up though on the road. I'm going to take Washington. Mindy's on Vegas, and so we got a challenge in basketball. We got a challenge in hockey.
There we go.
And, I was saying a few weeks ago I had gotten the better of Mindy, but I think over the last couple of times we've had some challenges. I think Mindy's got back on top of late. Blake says Vegas money line there. So Batman's warning us that now that he's part of our team, like nobody, we've accepted him for what he is. Even Tony has. Tony's got his eye on you though, but Batman, just be cool, man. Be cool. Neil, I think Neil might be calling for a third. It looks like a regulation draw, right? But he says, you could take the puck line either way, and but you're going to lay about 250 or so. So, Batman, he's got that toilet humor, that's for sure.
Yeah, right.
But I'll be looking at the premium and for the total. I'm not going to say which way, Mindy. Maybe you can. Not guess because I'm not going to confirm it, but I'm going to go with a total premium there. I'm on Capitals. You're on Vegas. Last game. Let's go.
Latifah is just going to be a spectator.
Okay. Colorado and Seattle.
Let's
Good game here. Good game here.
Colorado. I'm going Colorado. I'm taking the Avalanche at -105, something like that here. Yeah, the Avalanche 12-10 on the road. Seattle, 10-12 at home. Avalanche have won 4 in a row now, outscoring their opponents 21-5. Seattle won before, 3-2. So there's a little bit of extra incentive here for this Colorado Avalanche team that plays better on the road, and a Kraken team that plays better on the road as well.
Right. That's just it. I mean, if anything, Seattle does their best work on the road. Here's the thing, though. They're still 11-9 at home. Colorado not playing as well of late. We know Seattle's back to being hot. And I want to save the total. I want to go premium on the total in this one. And I don't necessarily – I lean – Colorado, so I'm going to go with you. If you like them, then I'm just going to do the Mindy tail, I think, on this one.
All right.
Because I have this one. I mean, Okay, here's the thing. Seattle minus 115, right? I have Colorado minus 115. So is that a true advantage? Is that a worthy of enough? It would not be worthy enough for me to be an individual premium, Mindy, but the fact that I've got the Midwest Premier Sports Handicapper who is all over the handicapper leaderboards that says a lean, and it's not a premium for her either. But
Right.
she's giving her lean on Colorado, and I've got Colorado the slight favorite, not Seattle. Let's put them on there, Mindy. That gives us a 7-pack, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 19 total. Way over 10.
Oh my God.
For 12.
We are going to have a big, big day of action. We got to get out of here. This is taking
No
way
kidding. Don't games start in like 15 minutes
even
or
the
something?
GM, Mindy, I don't know. The GM told me we're going to have to shorten up the show. I don't want to because I want to get everything in. I got to stop talking so much, talking about people dunking on people and stepping on their arms and things like that. So we over. Latifa said over. Percent better said over. We're going to hurry up and get out of here. Let's do it. Let's just thank everybody. Oh, hey, you know what? Okay, I also want to do one more thing. So we didn't necessarily. We were talking about goalies. Do they matter? Here's the confirmed goalies for today: Gustafson for Minnesota, Lyon for the Panthers. We haven't seen, obviously too much of Alex Lyon, but he's made one start so far and he's 1-0. So he is one of the confirmed goalies. Corpusalo for the Blue Jackets. I believe that is not who we had listed. Toronto Samsonov, Canadians Montembeault, confirmed. Huso likely for the Red Wings. Sorokin for the Islanders, confirmed. Connor Ingram for Arizona, confirmed. And I believe that's all we had as far as the confirmed goalies. So that's what we mean. Not all of them are going to be confirmed, when we're doing the show. And that's just the way it's going to be. So that makes it a little bit tough. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
I'm trying to hurry. Put these in real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll still go over to tonyspicks.com
Okay.
and take a look. There's Mindy's plays for today. Make sure you pick up my premiums as well. Get on a 3-day with me. I don't even have packages up right now. I'm embarrassed, but I had a long night, a rough night, and I'm going to be firing. So I'll have packages up well in advance, but just not for these early. If you want my early games, you're going to probably want to be paying close attention to the website or because there'll be late steam for sure. I mean, we're only 40 minutes away right now from tip-off from a lot of these games. And I don't know if I have a lot of early action anyways, but go on over to Tony'sPicks.com, click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, and get signed up. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout, save 20% off all premium pick packages, including mine, and I'll have more tennis too. I'm at the bottom of the algorithm, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop firing today. So let me just see here while Mindy's typing them in. Did have that great winner last night in tennis. Little sneak peek here at the back end of the website, but I'm just going to take a look here and show.
Okay, I think I got it.
Oh, okay. I was going to show this one. Tennis.
How did we miss 2 NHL games?
Oh, are you serious?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't miss any. Just say what they were. I'll give you the play again. I would notice right away because I document. So here I said on the tennis match that Poppy was terrific and is 7-1 winning as a 7-1 dog, but it was an exhausting match. Ben Shelton is going to be one of the fastest rising players this season and should have been a favorite here despite the home soil for Poppy in that one. So, all right, Mindy, let's pop those up there.
Poppy pops.
And take a look at the plays. You have them ready to go in the comments. And we'll start with NFL. There are 2 plays there, Jags and Giants. And in the NBA, Celtics, Magic, Kings in a little 3-pack. And in college, how many do we have there? Is that
1, 2,
7?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, you just have to figure it out with the football then. Take your screenshots, everybody. Hope I didn't go too fast. Just mention it if we need to. And there are the hockey plays. So, no, Fuzzy, I think we got it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Good luck,
everybody.
everyone. It's going to be a good day. I'm excited. What a day for sports enthusiasts.
And sorry we didn't get to all. Sorry, Latifa, but we love you, and thanks for doing such a great job. And I know that you had a lot of suggestions for college.
Yeah, just ask us more stuff in Discord if you need to.
Yeah, and we're almost. We're taking advantage of our friendship and relationship with Latifa, and because she had so many. And I think if it was somebody we just met, we shouldn't act that way. And I know Tony will probably get on us a little bit, but. I think there were a lot of requests. So, okay. Thanks a lot, everybody. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.